We don't need to post it. We don't even have to fucking be here.
We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay!
Live.
We're live.
Welcome to the AARP show, ladies and gentlemen, where I gotta tell you, the nursing homes are hipper than here.
Yes.
I asked one person about TikTok. Immediately, everybody went flaccid. I don't know. My husband's like, don't put it on in the house anywhere, all right? That's what he's saying. Who are you texting?
Are you talking to me?
Now you're Italian? Out of nowhere. You talking to me? Don't do that when people are on stage.
It's your introduction. You want to survive?
No, the best. And hi, I'm Sunda Kronquist. I'm your host. How about a round of applause for the LA School of Comedy? It's open mic night. And I got my friends here. They love me. They love when they get phone calls 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh no, that's why I was keeping this jacket on. There was a reason. For once I wore a bra. Like anybody noticed? Nobody notices. And that's sad. But a missing tooth, right, Hunter? They notice.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, crystal meth.
Yep.
You're like, no, Persian rice. Tahdig. Same effect, different taste. Introduction this evening to the owner and the founder of the Actors Cafe. So let's give it up for the one and only Aaron McIntyre, who teaches this wonderful class here on Tuesdays. And all of the stuff that comes out on social media, like us trying to do this TikTok thing, this is hysterical. We should be taping me trying to go live on TikTok. The good stuff is done by the one and only middle-aged muchacho over here, Billy Ramirez. And our in-house photography is done by Hunter White. And yes, he knows how to use a Polaroid, he knows how to shake it. So here's the thing, this is just gonna be a quick little thing, because I'm starting to do, picked up a new client in Oklahoma, and I'm not one that's going, likes to talk to a computer screen. It's just, I can't even imagine showing someone how to use a microphone and getting frustrated because I can't hit them through a screen. It's like when you're visiting people in jail. Did I tell you I got a phone call from Homicide today, from Brooklyn? And I actually picked up the phone and called back, because she said, oh, I have the wrong number afterwards. And I was like, no, there's something to this. And turned into my mother, who said, it's not a wrong number. I would call my mother, she'd be on the phone for 2 hours insisting that somebody was out to get her. But come on, Homicide? 718 Homicide, and the woman's name was Eliezer. And then I have to watch, you have to understand, when you have kids, that's why, let me tell you something. The cure for wanting grandchildren is watching someone's 3-year-old, all right? For a friggin' hour. An hour, you could go crazy. I want to have grandkids at one point, so they go home. I don't mean that. I shouldn't say that. I even know how I got into that direction. It's because everything is so screwed up. I have something going on called swarming in my house that the building's aware of. They don't bite. I just got a swarm of flies. They go like this, like a tornado. And the building's aware of it. How could people be aware of it and not say anything? Because I'm the only black one in the building, so I obviously brought it. That's what the Persian guy said. He goes, you're from New York. You're the one that brought bed bugs. And I was like, but who brought the rice that broke my tooth? In the house that Jack built, y'all. I have the mouse that Jack built. That's what I have. I have the mouse that Jack built. This is what I wanted to say for all of you and all of you that are watching. Because since the haha, I got to say, and thank you once again to the haha. We had a great show. It was successful. You guys want to be a comedian? You have to do things. You just got to do them. Coming in on time, that works, Because somebody could be on stage. You never know how it works. Come on in. Hello there, handsome. We always have celebrity drop-ins. Always. So, I was talking about having kids in different countries earlier than that. And there's nothing crazier than you trying to go to sleep and you're hearing a Jack the Ripper story and your kid's in London. But how is it that my kid's in Liverpool and somebody drives into a parade? Now, how crazy is that? And I call her, and she answers the phone and goes, I'm okay. Why not call me and say she's okay first? Like, Liverpool's as big as this room, right? No, look, you heard what happened.
Yeah.
Don't you think she should have called me first?
Yes.
Thank you. There you go. And I'm not looking for laughs tonight. I need somebody to listen. Nobody understands. You will tomorrow when I get this other tooth pulled out. I am really going to be Miss Fang. Lucky you. You know what? I'm going to give you some real entertainment, guys. This is somebody who's going to really rock the house for you. I know him as Mr. Zaffron. You know him as America's sweetheart, Mark Zaffron. Come up a few minutes while I fight TikTok. I'll get there. How'd you fall?
You have to nag me even walking up to the stairs.
I do not
stop
it.
I just don't understand it.
Don't listen.
Well, I'll talk
Do
about
not
teeth. My brother-in-law, I never believed him. I hate his guts, but I never believed him. He walked in, he married my sister, and then bitched at my father for sending her with bad teeth. It's a shame her father wasn't. I couldn't get to either. You can't send a woman to their husband with bad teeth.
I did not have bad teeth when I met him.
And it teaches all you single men, before you get married, check the teeth. They weren't fucking around. Believe it, they weren't fucking around when they wanted you to check the teeth of horses when you were buying them. You buy a horse, you check the teeth. If you're getting a wife, check the teeth. All right? They're only going to cost you in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for these gleamy whites. I believe that the greatest danger to America is dentists. Dentists are dangerous human beings, and they are criminals. I have never met a dentist that didn't want to get paid for more work than he actually did. Now, granted, I'm a corporate lawyer and get paid $900 an hour, but I give you a full hour for the $900. You walk into a dentist, and what do they give you? Maybe 10 minutes to the dentist and all these scurrying people that they have working for them that have to support them, right? Okay, and they still fuck up your mouth. I went into the dentist out here in Beverly Hills, and his own crown fell out of my mouth, and he had to call in an emergency dentist, which was somebody in the office that I thought worked for him or was a partner. Oh no, he was just renting a chair, like a barber shop. He charged me $1,200 for putting the fucking tooth back in my mouth. It's disgusting. I made that dentist pay me that $1,200 back. It's not my fault. This is the prison of it. Never listen to anybody who tells you to replace amalgam with a crown. I had 4 cavities in my whole mouth. 4, count them, from the time I was 15 years old. But my wife, who thinks she's a dentist, insisted that I had to have them replaced with crowns, none of which I needed. My teeth would have went along just as fine with the amalgam in them. And she will have an answer or two, all of which is anecdotal. She's like a pro-Hamas protester. No, they're protesting.
Your tooth was crossed over.
Oh, there you go.
All
They're
right? That's why you need your
Right,
wisdom tooth
there you
now.
go. We're not talking about wisdom teeth. We're talking about crowns from a criminal. Anyhow. Oh, yeah, come on in. There you go. You're not a dentist, are you? Yeah, we don't like dentists. Well, it's good to see, now that I'm enjoying myself. I was not texting when I was harassed before. I was getting material from Fox News. Where else are you going to get your comedic material from, if not the news? Now, MSNBC is just too jarring for me. CNN is completely destroyed. Now that Jake Tapper finally realized that Joe Biden was a corpse. I mean, come on. I stood on this stage telling all of you that Joe Biden didn't have a brain in his head, didn't know what he was doing. And I didn't work for CNBC or MSNBC or CNN. You guys can't put blinders on. Now we find out that there was a coup d'etat. 4 people that I never even knew their names. Plus, here's the kicker. Jill and Hunter. Hunter Biden was running the country. Isn't that scary? So you know what Kush Patel did? He reopened the investigation into the cocaine. One way or another, they're going to find some fingerprints with Hunter in there. They ain't finished with that guy yet. They're going to get him into jail one way or another. All right? It's Kush's greatest dream. Trump can care less. Hunter Biden was never his thing. He has other enemies that he wants to get, like Jay Pritzker. Now, to tell you about America, Jay Pritzker is not being... You know who Jay Pritzker is? Do I have to explain this? The very rotund governor of Illinois? All right? Jay Pritzker, of course, as he crows for being a great Democrat, was a born billionaire. His family owns Hyatt, and his sister, Penny, also a little large, runs Harvard University. I don't understand anti-Semitic Jews. I got a problem with it. I just don't get it. Them, George Soros, his idiot son who married Hillary's ex-girlfriend. This makes no sense. I mean, come on, look at Huma Abedin. You knew she was with Hillary. And you're marrying her too? Because I knew Anthony Weiner played for the other side also. You know, he used to come to a hospital I represented. Anyhow, not to go too far off topic, but I will. Because that's what you all do, right? You go far off topic? Everybody thinks it's funny? All right. We'll get back to the topic, which I forgot. All right? That's the problem with getting a little older. You forget what you're ranting and raving about. It's hard. How can you get into a big, long rant and rave and forget what you're talking about? I do it all the time. But then again, and this is my final word, other than the fact that dentists go first, then the migrants. All right? Mass deportation of dentists, that will make America healthy again. It will. It will. Because they cause more problems than they solve. And especially when they put their filthy, COVID-ridden hands down your mouth. And you don't know where they were 5 minutes ago. Because the dentist that was putting in my crowns, I was pretty sure they were up as assistant. Anyhow.
Maron.
What does Jesus have to do with it? Really, in all due respect, you people blame everything on Jesus. Well, yeah, okay, so you people, you know which people I'm talking about. Not me and Alan Weiss. Anyhow, it's amazing. This is what fascinates me at being Jewish and from Brooklyn about Jesus Christ. Why is it that he gets blamed for everything? I thought he was supposed to be the savior. But then again, all these people who believe he's going to save him blame him for every fucking thing that happens. If they stub their toe, they go, Jesus Christ. Like he pushed them onto it. It's like, no, isn't he supposed to be your Lord? He didn't push you and make you stub your toe. He didn't cause that moron Persian who was texting in front of you to smack your car into their back when they go like this at the lights. And what's amazing is you see them talking on a phone, yet they're driving a brand new Audi. I know it has, hands-free communication. That's for the other phone. All right? Because they have two. One for texting the boyfriend and one for talking to the husband and the kids. You got to see that, right? Anyhow, that's what happens when you raise children in Beverly Hills. All right? It's the surest way to bankruptcy. Anyhow, on that note, I was going to talk about something else today, but the teeth thing starts to get to you after a while. It really does. I will be passing the hat later on for Sunda's teeth.
Thank you. Thank you. The only one that has Rachmanis on me is Hunter, and not my boyfriend Hunter Biden. Because my friend Susan gets laughs. She always calls him my boyfriend. Because I think he gets a bum rap.
What?
Because that story's wrong. One of the stories is wrong completely, and I know it for a fact. It wasn't that he had the two girls there like he's some kind of stud. He needed one chick to buy the blow, but she couldn't cook it because you have to cook it to make it turn into base. So the other chick got paid, and his father sent a telegram with that Western Union. So they ran out and got the money, but it was... I was trying to tell him about this senator's son. He says, you think you know everybody. You think you know, baby. But that happened, and I think there's a little evidence left. See that? You never know. Some people are healers, but some can make you flip like the comedy of Chris Wheeler. Let's let him up across America.
How do you follow that, right? You bring me in just as you guys were talking about bad teeth. We're known for bad teeth, the British. God's sakes, he's right about the dentist. The dentists have taken me for a long ride in terms of monetary. But I don't have bad teeth because my American side got them. It's good to be back. I haven't been here for a few weeks. It's good to see all you guys, Alan, all you guys in the back. I have big news about my comedy career. Yeah, I'm going to give you the big news. It's actually kind of small news. I won a contest. Can I get some sound of relief? See, I guys like this. I won a contest for the smallest penis in the valley contest. Can I get some note on that? I won the contest by a few inches. It was a short competition. And they didn't know where to give. They want to give me the award, but they didn't know where to pin the ribbons. I'm going to do some stuff today that you've already heard, and some of it I'll do some new stuff. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
I'll try and get this place going. It's hard to... Mark's always got a lot of information. It's hard to follow some people. He's the one I don't want to follow. All right. Yeah, you guys heard the news about Liverpool, right? You hear what happened in Liverpool? You all heard that news? Yeah, bad news in Liverpool. We don't know who the guy is, but the news is coming out every day. We're getting new information.
What happened? I missed that.
Well, there was I'll just give you that. It's not part of my comedy act, but Liverpool FC was having a parade, and someone drove a car right through the parade. So I think 56 people were injured, and I think they're okay. There's 11 in the hospital right now. So that's the news. I didn't know I was going to be a newscaster tonight, but I can move, I can change if I have to. You know, one word can change everything, right? One action, one word can change everything. If I go outside here and there's a cop car, and I throw a rock at the cop car, the policeman comes to me and says, "Mr. Wheeler, you threw a rock at our car. We're going to put you in jail." They put me in jail with an inmate who takes a fancy to me, and we have sex, and I end up being gay, and I go to West Hollywood. One word can change everything. If you go to the TSA, you've been flying a lot lately, Alan, right? Alan's all over the place. By the way, put it together for Alan. International traveler and comic. He goes everywhere. At the TSA, they say, "Mr. Wheeler, did you pack your bag?" I said, "No, my ex-girlfriend did. We're taking you for secondary inspection." They take me over secondary inspection, check all my cavities, not my teeth. Not my teeth. And I liked it so much that every time I go back to the TSA, I say my ex-girlfriend packed my bags. One word can change everything. For example, I sometimes like curry. Anyone like curry here? I like curry. Went a little bit overboard on the curry. And I got to Home Depot, and I needed to do the number 2. I wasn't happy about that because I know there's one-ply toilet paper over there. So I go in there. I'm in there for a while. There's a guy waiting outside the store. When I come out of the store, I open the door, and the guy looks at me, and I say, "Don't go in there. There's a bomb in there." And the guy goes, Jesus. He calls the Home Depot security. They come in. They bring a bomb squad. They arrest me. They arrest him. They close the place down. And the bomb squad says, well, the assessment is... there was no bomb in there, but this guy did leave a bomb in there. One word can change everything. Do you guys see a little bit of Bruce Jenner in me? Anyone, please?
Oh, yeah.
I wish this would stop, because everywhere I go, people approach me. Hunter understands. People approach me, and they go, "Are you related to Bruce Jenner?" I'm not related to Bruce Jenner, but that's the reason why I'm having such a tough love life. Okay, I'm going to do a few characters today. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try a few characters. It's all new stuff, so go with me. So the first person coming to the stage tonight, make a noise for Bob Peterson. Yeah, this is Bob Peterson from Minnesota, Burnsville, Minnesota, Burnsville Parkway, Minnesota. I'm out here on vacation, and I'm out here to vacation here in Santa Monica. Welcome, Bob. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do in Minnesota? Yeah, I'm Bob Peterson. I work in Burnsville at the Minnesota Burger King, home of the Whopper. My responsibilities include Whoppers, management, different types of janitorial duties. My name is Bob Peterson. Bob, can you tell me a little bit about your hobbies and that kind of thing? Yeah, I've got 3 hobbies. The first hobby is making a Whopper. The second hobby is taking my wife on a picnic and making a Whopper inside the picnic area. And the third is my wife takes care of my little Whopper when I get home. Come on, make a noise for Bob Peterson. I'm trying. The second character we'll bring to the stage is a gentleman called Jean-Francois. He's from France. Make some noise. Hello, everybody. I'm Jean-Francois. I'm from Paris. Actually, I'm from Neuilly-sur-Seine, which is outside Paris. I'm very happy to be here in LA Comedy School. I've been watching you in Paris. I've been watching Sunda and Mark and Alan and all the people. What are you doing here in Santa Monica? Well, I'm on vacation. People say to me, Jean-Francois, is it true American people, French people shower 3 to 4 times a week? And I say, no, not Jean-Francois. I don't shower 3-4 times a week. I shower 5 to 6 times a week. That is all I shower. I'm very clean. Jean-Francois, tell me a little bit about your trip here. Well, when I come here, people say to me, you are too sexy for your body. I say, no, I'm too sexy for anybody. I am French, and people tell me American women are easy. I say, no, no, no. American women are not easy. American women are very easy. I am Jean-Francois. I'm trying new stuff. Yeah, let's try. So you guys know the story about my DNA test. Ramirez does. Do you guys know the DNA test? Anyone had a DNA test recently? Okay, I had a DNA test. 97% white, straight, Caucasian. Can I get a boo on that? Yeah, nobody wants to be that category right now, especially in Hollywood, right? No one wants to be that category. But I'm 3% Mexican. Can I get some noise on that? Orale pues. So I decided to go to Mexico, meet my relatives, Carlos Escobedo, Susana Escobedo, Emmanuel Escobedo. I went down there, young British lad, just come off the boat. I met my relatives, and the first day they said to me, Chris, what would you like for your first meal here? I said, well, I'm British, so I'd like fish and chips if you got it. But if you don't got it, I got a hamburger with cheese, a French fry with salt, and a drink with no ice. Well, we don't have that here, but a restaurant down the street is available for you. So I head down there. I get to the restaurant. Of course, everything is in Spanish. Look up at the menu. I can't understand anything. I don't know how to order food. I'm British. I'm English. I've got bad teeth on top of that. And I'm in trouble. So this guy helps me from nowhere. Escucha, gringo. Lo que está pasando aquí no es normal. Va a ayudarte con el menú. Your hamburger with cheese is pinche panocha con queso. Your French fries with salt is pinche cabrón con sal. And for your drink, pinche maricón sin huevos. Great, great, great. You're the best. Here I go. Pinche panocha con queso. Pinche cabrón con sal. Pinche maricón sin huevos. And the guy looks at me and he goes, you idiot. I speak perfect English. You just ordered a pussy with cheese, a son of a bitch with salt, and a gay gentleman with no balls. Well, actually, you know what? That's Mexico. Unbelievable country. I'm going to take the pussy with cheese. I'll take Gruyere, some onions on the side, and a box to go. That's my Mexican, guys. How am I doing for time? I've got the light right there. Okay, I'm going to do a few more things. I was going to do a Russian voice. You guys want to hear a Russian voice? I'm working on a Russian voice. How many of you are following the Ukraine-Russian war? Everybody's following it. So the Russians are not so popular. So we're going to bring an ambassador in and see if he'll talk to us for a few seconds. You guys ready? Yeah. Okay, Ambassador Laparov, welcome to LA Comedy School. This is Ambassador Dmitry Laparov from the Russian Federation. It's an honor to be here at the LA Comedy School. What the hell are you doing here? There's a war going on. Why would you be here? I'm here to meet Sunda Kumquist. It's Krunquist. Sunda Krunquist, she saw Zelensky at the Comedy Store many years ago. And I believe I can get some secret in terms of negotiations for Zelensky in terms of comedic. All right, well, thank you. Put it together for Ambassador. Yeah. I just tried some new stuff tonight. You know, this is what it is here, right? You come here, you try new stuff. Sometimes it's a little bit awkward, but I just keep going. It's good to be back at LA Comedy School. Thanks for having me, Sunda and everybody. I'll see you hopefully. Oh, I'll tell you where I'm at. San Diego. I'm not going to tell you the truth. I just did a film festival last week. I did two comics. He's a famous comic, and me did a film festival. Friday, I'm going to San Diego with Mike Moratori, if you know that guy. I'm going on a show for that. Saturday, I'm at Accidental Chaos. 27th, I'm at the Ice House. 29th, I'm at the Chateau. So I'm getting busy. It's good to, and I'm getting a lot of practice coming here. Thanks for supporting my comedy. I'm Chris Wheeler.
Chris, now you're going to practice being an MC. Can you bring up Lee Schwartz for me?
Yes, it would be my honor. I'm now an MC. How are you guys doing tonight? Let's make a little bit of energy. We just had a British comic with bad teeth on here, so we're going to have a guy come on. Please make the place rock. Let's put it together for Lee Schwartz.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do, everything everybody does. Sometimes I don't appreciate what I do, but that's okay. And I can't follow anyone anyway, because I don't pay attention what they're saying. I can't follow them. It doesn't matter who goes in for me at all. I don't do impressions because I don't believe in first impressions. Sorry, I don't. But I'm speaking of first. I really want to be first most times, and I never get to be. in anything, it seems like these days. And I really want to be first in line, because if I'm first in line wherever I go, I don't have to talk to anybody.
Okay.
Right? And I hate lines for that specific reason, because everybody wants to talk to me while I'm in line. I don't know what the problem is. I was in line getting seafood. Doesn't make a difference, but guy's in back of me, and he feels compelled to talk to me. I don't know why, what it is. And of course, out of the blue, it seems like his icebreaker is, "You look like an almond farmer." I was like, where do you get, thinking, oh, this is how you start conversations? And I said, well, I like almonds. I do like them. And then I go on, and this becomes this relationship that goes all the way to when I get my food, that I have to maintain the whole time, which is awful. And he goes on and on about this, that, and I just want to escape, really. And I'm trying to be nice, and eventually finally get to my food, and then I get to part ways and say, "Nice talking to you. I really appreciate it." And I'm like, "Oh, great. That's it. That's all. I'm out of here. I get my food." And he's like, "Where are you sitting?" I'm like, what is going on here? And I say, well, I'm going to find some place over there. And he's like, oh, yeah, wait, and what did you order? And this, what'd you do? And I was like, what's going on here? Next, I sit down, and I just hope he just goes somewhere else, but he doesn't, and he sits right far away from me, and then not far enough away from me. He's right there. So, next thing I know, he's going to be at my doorstep at home. This is going to be that. And I just said, I just actually moved away to another table, and sorry, that's the way it goes. I hope he wasn't hurt, but if he was, I'll take responsibility. He doesn't do anything horrible to himself or anything else, but he'll find someone else to bother online. He could go back in line and find more people and ask them if they're almond farmers or other people, like, I don't know, peanut farmers or something. Go to peanut farmers. But anyway, but glad that was over. I have to go through that. It seems like not a big deal, but it was a big deal, actually. It was a big deal. And I told you before about the haircut. I got a haircut the other day, and I heard the worst thing anyone can hear when you sit down in a barber's chair. I just want you to ask anyone, what is probably, when that hairstylist has that scissors, what is the last thing you want to hear before she begins? Just what do you think?
I left my glasses.
Yeah, you ruined it. Yeah, she said, no, first she said, can I borrow your finger? And because, I want to make sure I get a straight line. And because I forgot my glasses. Forgot my glasses, she said. I was like, oh, wow, geez, maybe you shouldn't tell me that, because that'll be, I'm like, unbelievable. I couldn't believe my eyes, ears, hair, everything. It just was horrible. And you're strapped in. You have no choice. You can't say, I'd like another hairstylist. That doesn't work. You can't do that. I thought about saying, maybe I forgot my wallet. I'll go to my car, or family emergency, or having a breakdown, anything to get out of it. And she's like, don't worry. Sometimes it works out. And I was like, oh my God, geez. And then it was all done. It was awful. It was a bad haircut. I understood that, and I expected that. That's fine. Okay. And then another guy was going out, and he was coming in, and I was like, I really wanted to say to him, like, no glasses. She has no glasses. And I really couldn't get the nerve. I didn't know how to appropriately do that and to save him. And I really had the opportunity to prevent him from getting. And I'll have to live with that. Okay. And I had the opportunity and I didn't. And that's okay. I mean, maybe she found her glasses. And so maybe it would have worked out, and I wouldn't blame myself for preventing this from happening, So I was thinking of others, because I always do. I always think of others. I'm that kind of guy. I do. I do. I think about everyone. I think about everybody every second. I think about everyone here. You're all good people, by the way. I care about you. I love you. Love. Did I say love? I didn't mean love. That's a little extreme. I don't believe in group love, actually. But I care about everyone in the group. So that's my sharing of love. And you think good about yourselves. I really want you to value you. I value you as people. And if you have anything you want to get off your chest, anything at all, just go somewhere else and do it. Yeah, there's other places for these things. Try, I don't know. But I really appreciate you all listening to me, and thank you. Thank you.
Well, if we wanted to listen to you some more, where would we find you?
You'll find me. Sorry, I'll find me, or I'll find myself, or something like that. Or I'll make it somehow to the Haha Comedy Club at June 12th at around 7 o'clock. If you get there, you might see me. There's a good chance. But it was a great time last time. It really was a success. It really was. Thank you, Sunda. It's wonderful.
You did it yourself.
Yeah, but combination.
That's
All right.
a lot of
All
work,
right.
but we do. We get
All right, it
done.
was great. June 12th.
I can get up. I need it. I need a wife. That's the only reason to go gay, by the way. That's the only reason for me to go gay. I don't want a Jewish wife. Don't. I want a Pola. I want a real Polaka. They clean good. I know your name. I can't remember.
Jared.
Which one?
Taylor.
Okay.
Jared.
I want to make sure. Because it could be Taylor Jared, and then that would be very difficult. But that's okay. We're going to add that up, and I'll probably ask you again. But right now, I'm counting on the accounting of the one and only Alan Weiss.
Don't you like it when you do squats and you're just like, oh, so sore? Yeah. They're fun. We should all do squats. My name is Alan Weiss. Thank you. Hi, Mark. I get all my political news from Mark. It's the only reason I show up here. Then I know what actually is going on in the world. Otherwise, I have no idea. My name, okay, I said that. Okay, I'm awkward. I'm awkward. For example, when I go to the gym, there's all those guys who have muscle dysmorphia. So to help them out, I stand next to them to make them look bigger, except in the shower. I'm considered a nerd. However, I don't want that. So I try the hardest to not be a nerd. So I've never read a comic book. I don't program HTML, and I've never been laid off. Okay, I've seen Star Wars, but I've never fantasized about being in bed with a Wookiee. I'm so awkward that I think my mom is cool. Except for when it comes to my dating life, my life decisions, my wardrobe, my car, my job, the food I eat, my AC settings, and her constant obsession with continually using floppy disks. I don't let her, because if she did, she'd be a hipster and even more unbearable. My mom had 5 children, and when she would snap, she'd go, Jesus Christ, my source of salvation, which is weird coming from a Jew. Yeah, poor Jesus. He died for our sins. That's why we keep blaming him, I think, Mark.
Trying to figure that out, by the way.
Yeah, he died for our sins. Okay. I didn't start dating until I was 34. I know, weird. But probably because I didn't want to tell my mom, I lived with my parents until I was 34, and I didn't want to have to tell her that I was that the girl I was going to go out with was Virgin Galactic 46. I just keep making that up. One day I'll have one stick. Whatever that screen name's going to be. I have a fear. Oh, no, we'll get to that later. So when I did start dating, I went to singles mixers. I go to singles mixers. And I went to this one, but I'm awkward. And this girl told me when I went up to her, and she said, "No, I have a boyfriend." And I was like, wow, that was fast. I went to a Jewish singles mixer, and the girl, I'm Jewish, if you didn't figure that out yet. And this non-Jewish girl came up to me and said, "You look like a horny Jew." I froze because I thought I had those removed. Okay. I went to this one party, and this lady came up to me. She was older, and she's like, "If I was 30 years younger, I'd tap that." I was like, "If you're 30 years younger, you'd be a pedophile." Because I'd be 4. I would have if it says 34. No, I'm not 4, but anyway. I worry. I'm a big worrier. I'm a huge worrier. I'm extremely worried about keeping the garage door closed. I think a lot of people have that, but for me, it's mostly because you have junk in there, and I'm worried that someone might see it. Like, I might have someone walk by and go like, "Oh, look at all that." Alan is definitely a nerd. So it's squeakily clean. It's totally empty. There's nothing in there. So that when that someone comes by and looks around, they'll be like, "Wow, this is clean," and they'll finally get her number. The reason I keep my garage is empty, but I still worry. I still worry. It's weird. I know it's weird, and it's weird because, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? A burglar gets in, looks around, and goes, "There's nothing here, here." And then I get back, and the echo's gone. Let's see, what else did I... Okay, so I was looking at food, and I found out that my favorite jam is strawberry, and my least favorite is traffic. If traffic jam was a jam, it would probably be stuffed really tightly in the jar, but you could never get out. The tagline would be, "Hungry, you're going to have to wait," or "American runs on honks." It'd probably smell like durian, but tastes like grapefruit. Durian smells like awful. If you've ever been around durian, you want to kill yourself. There was a girl, and when I was in Latin class in high school, she used to eat durian, and I thought someone died in the class. I was like, "Oh my God." It was disgusting. I couldn't get out of that class as fast enough. Just trying to see if I had anything else before I get off the stage. No, I'll leave. I don't know. Okay, so for culture, I decided to watch ghost movies. And it's fun because, like, I was like thinking about it. If I was a ghost, I'd be a helpful ghost. So if there's a guy with OCD, I'd go up to him and go, "Ooh, you left the stove on." Or if there's a couple on a date, I'd go up to a first date, I'd go up to the girl and go, "Ooh, he's got gonorrhea." But because I'm on the spectrum, it'd be more like, "Ooh, yesterday's date was divisible by 23. And we would haunt. Okay, we would haunt. And you'd find we'd solve all the Rubik's Cubes. Your cutlery drawer would be organized, or you'd wake up and all the puzzles would be solved. That'd be our haunting. Very helpful. Thank you very much. My name is Alan Weiss. Who? This next comic is incredible acting coach. He runs his own studio. And let's give it up for Aaron McIntosh.
That's all right. You know, my father, it's McIntyre.
Oh, Aaron McIntyre.
I'm gonna get a bit into that as well.
Ah, yeah, my name's Aaron McIntyre. It's Aaron, A-E-R-O-N. It's not A-A-R-O-N, so please don't call me Aaron. Okay, please? Because also AA is supposed to be anonymous. That's what I hear. You know, it's actually Swedish for comfy lawn chair. I had to buy one, so I went to IKEA, you know, and I got into the IKEA maze. How many people have been to IKEA? Yeah. So you go to IKEA, I kind of got lost in the maze, you know, went through, I ended up at the, you know, office furniture about 6 times, you know, thinking that I was going to a different place. Of course you'll end up in the food court, right? You got to have the Swedish meatballs. Hell yeah! Yeah, so it turns out it was all in the, you know, the exit place where they didn't have a display of it, so I just had to trust and take it home, but I can't put the fucking thing together. So if anybody knows anybody who could put IKEA furniture together, send them my way, please. Yeah? Yeah, well, Mark puts everything together.
Oh, God. He won't stop.
He won't stop. I gotta tell you, you know, when you first came up, you know, and you guys are going back and forth, I just felt so at home. You know? I just felt like I was right back with Mom and Dad. And I was a teenager with fucking long hairs and an earring, and they were going, "God damn it, son, what's the matter with you?" My mother did hit me a few times. I went and took care of her for about 6 months. I did a great job because she died. But she used to slap me. You know, she'd slap me if I did something wrong. And, you know, one time I came in and she goes, "Did you clean up all that stuff?" And I said, "Yeah, all but 2 pieces." And that didn't go over well. It was just an automatic thing. I couldn't, you know, it's like when you're a kid, you're always, "Yeah, look at me, I can flip people off." And then it just gets like it's an automatic response. But my father never did hit me except for once when I was a teenager. And he hit me a bunch of times in the arm. So it was like punch, punch, punch. Because I can't remember what I did. I think I smoked marijuana or something. Because I have done a lot of that. Yeah, with the name thing, I don't want to talk about my name. I want to talk about your name. What's your name, sir?
Jared.
Jared, is that short for anything? No? Gerodium?
Straight out of the Bible.
Gerasimus? Okay. All right, great. You know what? Because I think that we should take away all the vowels.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're headed. You know, it's like language is, you know, it was are not, then it became aren't, now it become ain't. You know, they're just fucking pull them out right and left to pull out those vowels because they're useless. Do you know that there are? I looked up on ChatGPT how many words have only vowels, and the answer back said the answer that came back said any word with only vowels would sound silly. That's what ChatGPT. What's that? Yeah, it would sound silly. Yeah, but consonants. There are lots of those, lots of words with consonants, quite a few of them, right? And the thing that's really weird, though, look, he's thinking about that. How many words can I think of? There are quite a few, but most of them, it says that a consonant is acting like a vowel. It's like, how is it? They're not actors. Okay? I know actors. They're not acting like anything. They're just sitting there. Aw is a word with, it says aw is a word with no consonants. Bullshit. It's a W. The W. But no, the W is acting like a, what? I don't get it. I don't know what it's acting like. I mean, an E. No, that's not right. There are some other ones. There is some rye, right? That's all consonants, right? Yeah. Y, right? But Y, sometimes Y. E, that's right. God damn. I had this all worked out. Now I can't fucking do it.
W-R-Y.
W-R-Y, yes. Yeah, there we go. But Y is acting like an I, right? Freaking. I just think it's a scam because I think it would really cut down the amount of time. You know, the amount of time that we have to talk to each other would be cut down. Like, bullshit, right? You know what that was? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah. See, I just took out all the vowels. You got that, right? You knew what I was talking about. It's very, very clear. It's quite clear. You know, what was talked about before? Chris was talking about something. He was talking about teeth. Yes, I have them. Yes, and I actually have a really nice set. Never had anything done to them, you know. The only ones that are bad are the bottom ones, and so that's why I don't smile with all my teeth. I just smile with the top ones. Oh man, I had a good one. It was for you know, Lee, you were talking about how you love all these people. I love all these people too. I think about people all the time, and most of the time I think about people. I think about how I'd like them to get the fuck out of my face. You know, just get out of my face. I wrote a whole song about it. Get out of my face. That's what it was called. It's called "Get Out of My Face." I'm trying to write a new song about this whole deportation thing to El Salvador because I wrote a song way back in the late 1970s, way back in the mid-1900s, and it was about El Salvador. But at that time, it was called El Salvador, El Salvador. If you like Vietnam, well, here's some more, because that's where we were at that point. Because the Vietnam. I'll give you a little history lesson. Thank you. Mark started us off with a little history, so I'm going to take you on a little trip. Okay? Back in the late... No, I'm not going to tell you. Fucking El Salvador. Those people are crazy, you know? I mean, they're fucking crazy. Those El Salvador... Did you see those guys being brought into that prison? I cannot believe that anybody could think, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just send them down there where they're just... It is. It's like a gulag. Gulag. What? What, you don't think that's a good idea? You think it's a good idea? Yeah, you do? Oh, cool, cool. Why?
You want to feed them and clothe them here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we got lots of money.
No, we don't.
Oh, yeah, we got lots of money. We had the greatest economy in the world. We had the greatest economy in the world until recently. And then it kind of, yeah. Yeah, we'll just, yeah. God damn, you better get that done quick. Because they're going to fucking deport you over those teeth. They're going to deport you back to Jersey. Back to Patterson.
Oh, God. No, please.
Please don't take me back to Patterson. Yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't understand a lot of the, you know, especially this Krishna, the Christian, you know, right. I mean, it's just insane. They want more babies. They want to bring more babies into the world, but they don't want to do anything about the babies once they get here. And then they want to deport all the immigrants and then, I guess, give all of the migrant jobs to the people who've been fired from FEMA or, you know, Medicare or, you know, wherever they're firing them from. Those people will take the jobs, I'm sure. You know, they'd love to go out and pick lettuce, don't you think? An accountant, would you like to pick some lettuce? If we paid you a lot of money, might be easier than being an accountant. Yeah. A lot less brain power, I gotta say. Yeah. But anyway, I think I'm ready. Oh yeah, I do have a class. Really, I do. It's serious. And it's a lot of fun. It's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. It's a drop-in class because the only commitment you have is to yourself. You don't have to make a commitment for, 4 weeks or 8 weeks. Hunter and I have been having a great time. We did just a wonderful time. So everybody, just show up. Try it out. See if you like it. If you're a comedian and you say, oh, I don't want to be an actor, well, if you get some guy like Ron Howard who comes up to you and goes, hey, I saw your act. You'd be really good. I'm trying to do this is my Ron Howard. Yeah, you'd be really good in a movie that I'm about to make about some old people who end up climbing up a tree and they regenerate. You're going to want some acting classes. You don't want to do it then. You don't want to wait till then. But you can also find me at AERONMACINTYRE anywhere. And the website is filmactorscafe.com. So it's easy to find. You can check me out. Been doing it for 35 years. I think I know what I'm doing, but you make up your mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up Sunda Krudenquist.
Wait, I got an idea. Make up your mind with that new role that your student got on SVU.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That I didn't say SUV.
Yeah, SVU.
I know.
I know. Yeah,
What was her name?
SUV, yeah. Oh, and the other one just got another.
Another one. That's not woke.
She's going on a national tour with.
Say her name.
Maya Drake.
Maya Drake is going on tour. That's
On a
his
national
student
tour.
national
Coming
tour.
Up, yeah, coming up. I think in August.
He totally does not tell you that he is the best coach when it comes to memorization and the stress that comes in between that as a comedian. There's so much stress. We're not going to talk about it. We'll let the stage undress with the comedy of Jared Taylor.
It's good to be with you guys tonight. Hey, one of the themes I'm hearing about is Dennis, Rogue Dennis. You know, I grew up with one, and I guess my orthodontist needed some space cleared in my mouth. And I kid you not, the name of this oral surgeon was Dr. Bonebreak. And he had like 4 baby teeth removed and 2 permanent teeth removed. And to this day, I remember just the tug of his instruments just in my mouth. And I could hear those roots just getting torn out of my mouth with laughing gas piping on through. And I don't know, it wasn't painful, but it was like, it was an ordeal there. You felt a lot of being ripped on, and he's like getting extra leverage, you know, off of my hip there or something. But I got through it. I got through this ordeal there. So, but it's good to be with you guys tonight. You know, I think I was bound to be a resident of Los Angeles because I was a child actor, but not in L.A. I was a child actor in the city of Baltimore because the PBS, they ran like a children's show called Romper Room back in the 70s. And I was on this show for a week. They cycle kids through, you know, wasn't a permanent fix, but had this experience of being on Romper Room for a week, and it was something. She looks through this device, and you know, you get the inside scoop that there's some special effects in the works there. You know, what you saw on TV is not quite you know, what was happening behind the scenes there. So a little bit of disenchantment that she was not actually holding like one of those magic mirrors at all. But there was a life-size bee that I think, and I don't know, I think I got I don't know. I think me and my friend, we were kind of sidelined as incorrigible because I think he took a fish out of the fish bowl and dumped it on the floor and stomped on it. So I think we were quickly identified as trouble there. But so I don't know. You know, the pitfalls, when you think about the pitfalls of being a child actor, you know, I was able to bypass all that because I was safely being raised in Baltimore, far away from, you know, the tug of Hollywood. But, you know, since then I've moved here, you know, about after you know, and this also coincides with the end of a 25-year marriage. So, you know, and I think like, you know, when you think about the pitfalls of a child actor, they're probably fairly well aligned with the pitfalls of a divorced man. And so we're thinking about like, you know, tattoos, you know, perhaps just like a you know, just wandering in a tattoo parlor without a lot of thought into it. But you know, I think I'm a fighter. I'm pretty certain that getting a neck tattoo is not going to be a good part of the healing process here. But so I'm making it. I'm taking it day by day, and you know, I think I'm going to make it without a tattoo. But I've got some misplaced anger. You know, the family dog is the one that's stuck with me, and I've got this 4-year-old pug dog named Georgie, who just gives me these side-eye looks when she's not getting her food, and so I don't know. I'm just coming home from work, got to rush home and get Georgie fed, but I think I'm being stretched a little too thin. I think I'm going to find a new home for Georgie. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It was fun and games with the whole family, but all the kids are launched, and my ex-wife is in Kuwait, of all places. So when you think about Kuwait, I think when she got there, the thought was that, I'd work my way out there or she'd come back. But I don't know. She was quickly telling me about like how hot Kuwait is. Kuwait is like being in the direct laser sight of the sun. It's right on the equator. You are being burned up as you walk around the streets of Kuwait. There's also crazy drivers there. It is like Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome with people just like, I don't know. There's plenty of gas there, but the cars are just, it's insane. The amount of ill-advised driving there. So, and then there's also such things as, I don't know. It's just it's a crazy place. I mean, it's Kuwait. It's the Middle East, and I think when my wife thought about it, she was like, "Do I want to mess with what Kuwait has to offer, or do I want to mess with this dude?" And she's like, "I'm gonna stick with Kuwait. I'm feeling good about what Kuwait has to offer there. So, Godspeed. Wish her well." And but she is coming back here to LA. We got to like divert our assets, split things up. I don't know, but toward the end of our relationship, she was like, "Jared, I'm feeling good about buying a townhouse in southern France," and I went along with this. I'm just like, I don't know, the relationship's kind of coming off the rails, and I'm just feeling like, perhaps we can salvage this, and I don't know, it's just, just a lesson in what not to do in future relationships, and I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I've met some divorced men out there who are probably like not the best mentors and stuff, because they're just like, dude, have you started fucking yet? Like, they're just like, we got back to dating, so they're just like, I don't know, I'm still like, I'm hurting, bros, just like, let me lick some wounds here a little bit, and I'll get back out there, but, so, yeah, I don't know, when you think about other pitfalls of, like, child actors, divorced men, it's like gambling, too, so, yeah, I'm keeping that tight. I think whenever I've like put anything out on the line with money, it's just like, just kiss it goodbye. So, not going down that path. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm just when you think about like what I want to do going forward, I'm thinking about just like I've been going. Who's been on those stairs in Santa Monica? They're right off of Vicente. They're pretty great. I've been doing that. You can find me there like Sunday nights, and it's like 800. It's like 100 vertical feet, and so I don't know. Hope to do like I'm up to 8 laps on those, and they're a butt kicker. I'm feeling like my heart's like beating out of its chest, but I feel like it's preparation for plan to hike Grand Canyon in October. So, if I gotta stay on track here. Otherwise, you're gonna read about me in the papers. Like a burro having to like pull me out from beneath there, just throw a satchel of mail on top and my dead body, and fishing me out of Grand Canyon there. So, anyway, I'm feeling good about just this experience, just rehashing. I don't know. Catherine was like an interesting person to be married to. We were together for like 25 years, and I think as we were diverting assets, she's becoming this like forensic accountant, just like really tight with the money, and like during our marriage, she was like so whimsical with how she spent, and just like really kind of this art historian who just loves spending money, travel, like things we didn't need, just like I don't know, just so I don't know. I'm just like, hey, we could have used these accounting skills like during the marriage, but anyway, I think. Yeah, she'll be better after this. I think I'm going to be better through this experience too on the other end. But yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. We were both the oldest of 6 kids. And so we just, I don't know. We were just like, grew up in these like Mormon families, and we're just like, I don't know. It was a real learning experience through the time together. But I don't know. We're coming out on the other end, I think, with having learn through this, and hey, I just many thanks and appreciate this opportunity. Thanks. My name is Jared Taylor. Getting Instagram lined out yet, so still haven't made that connection. It's forthcoming.
All right. Good job. Oh my God. God. Romper, do. Tell me. What's the words?
It was like Zooby,
Zooby,
Zoo, Mr. There was a Mr. Doobie.
Oh, Mr. Doobie, right.
Bumper,
Yeah.
bumper, boo.
Tell me.
Tell me
who.
Or something. And I see you.
I did
She
Romper
was in
for-
he was Romper.
for 1 week. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's very cool because I always waited for them to say the special name. I never got it.
They called my name. You know, they look through that mirror and
Right.
they point at all the children. There,
Right.
So,
But they
Yeah.
never found Sunda. Or any other black people, really.
And I was watching once and they had an exquisitive. Exquisitive.
Exquisitive. Let me just say, I didn't even talk about this. I also teach a comedy class here, and that's what Lee was talking about. I meet you 4 times, you get up here 4 times, and then you get a showcase.
It was great, really.
I hope you liked it,
No, really.
I mean it.
Seriously, I did I loved it.
because you have to hone in your 5-minute industry set, as anybody will tell you, because it just happens out of nowhere. I just got an offer today to go on a cruise. I've done that before. Not going to do that again.
You get sick on cruises.
No, yeah, it's true. And handcuffed and shackled, and that sounds too exciting. So I just wanted to give you a note, if you don't mind. I want you to remember, think of this as a magnet, because this is what, and you talk like an Italian. Turn it around. I want to hear what you have to say. All right, Romper Room? I love it. I love it. A round of applause for Jared. It was great. So great. Now you have your house photographer in the house. So let him get ready to do his thing. And let's give him a happy ring. The one and only Mr. White is coming to the stage.
Keep it going for Sunda. Jared, you're very inspiring, man. Give it up one more time for Jared. Although I hate to disappoint you, I think your ex-wife is a spy. Right? Kuwait, beach house in the south of France.
She was an
Art historian, she works for the State Department. That forensic accounting is the feds. It's good to be here.
Those came late in the marriage, though. That was at the tail end of stuff.
Okay. Well, again, it laid out. It's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like when you were just like, yeah, they were driving, you just kind of zoned out, and I just pictured the Bourne Ultimatum. You're just sitting there being like, okay, where? Anyway, moving on. We're doing good. We're doing good. It's a Wednesday. Start off with a dumb joke. The world is not designed for polite people. If it was, turn signals would go, excuse me. Hazards would go, I'm sorry. There'd be 2 honks, little and, okay. Again, dumb joke. Do we have any, we all have a family, I assume. Anybody have, any weekly family traditions that they embarked upon?
No.
Shabbat. That's see, I looked this up because I fucked this up on Monday. So Shabbat, it's like a weekly family dinner, right? Okay, that's fine.
Mark explain it.
It's
a weekly.
It's a weekly family dinner. Family every week. And who says the Jews don't suffer? Hey! I did my research. No, we had a family tradition growing up. Every Friday night, me, my brother, my mom, my stepfather, we'd all go to Longhorn Steakhouse, as a family. And we'd go with their friends that we met up with previously at the Friday night Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. This was my childhood. That's why I'm here. No, I don't know. If you've never been to an AA meeting, congratulations, you're doing great. But if you've never been, it's usually in the basement of the church, and there's a room where the meeting happens, and a lot of wild stuff gets said in there. So really, the only people in there are people part of the meeting, and they're infants, apparently. Right? My parents got sober long before I came around. So, I don't know, who needs a babysitter, right? Who needs a babysitter? Fuck trauma. I get to learn the Lord's Prayer at 2 months. And they weren't, kinda in the program. They were dedicated to their sobriety, way more than they were to each other. So we went nights, weekends, holidays. I tell you, drunks throw a wild Labor Day party. They're sober, but they still got it. I don't know. And I don't hold any like animosity towards them for like bringing me to these meetings and for like putting me through what I went through, because like I don't blame them. If I was in their position, I would have done the same thing. And I bet they thought like, oh, what's the worst that could happen? A lot. And they probably also thought it would like impart some wisdom on us. And I think it did. But like, I don't think it was the wisdom they thought it was going to be, because it wasn't like the dangers of drug and alcohol. It was stuff like, you know, hurt people, and put your focus on things you can control, and taken too far, drugs and alcohol. Wonderful stories, like just wonderful stories. Because like nobody tells a better story than a 25-year sober active biker gang member. Right? Like, it wasn't so much a lesson in, like, anti-drug things. It was more like a lesson in pro-moderation. Right? Because, like, besides, like, a 2.5 year relationship with a lot of powder, I feel like I've been very responsible with my drug use. Like, I try to be responsible. I stay away from, like, a lot of stuff. But when I was like really into like getting high, like the focus was 2016 and I was really into politics. So I would just do drugs and yell about education policy and the penny. So I decided to change things up because like, yeah, I was really into politics. But then one day I smoked some DMT and suddenly I was really into trees. Right? Like before I was like, oh, what new drugs can I find? And now I'm like, oh, what are they hiding in the Vatican? Like, let's figure it out as a people. Thank you so much. I think about addiction a lot, though, just as like an intellectual exercise, because I think we glorify addiction. That's a very hack thing to say, like we glorify addiction in this country. But I feel like we're missing some that we should just acknowledge. Like, I find it fascinating that from like the highest end amusement park to like backwood town of Florida, they all sell coffee cups. Right? That's just weird to think about it for a second. I lost you, but think about it. That's like if you could buy a cocaine spoon at the airport. Like what? Like big caffeine one, guys, because it sneaks up on you. Right? A couple years ago, I thought I was being healthy. I'm going to switch from coffee to tea to yerba mate. Guys, I don't know what happened, but I'm like, okay, admitting I have a trepidatious relationship with marijuana. I'm confident saying I have a crippling caffeine problem. Right? And I don't want to hear like, oh, it's not that bad. You ever fallen asleep driving or while your girlfriend wants to watch a television show? Equally bad, people. This is fun. You guys are cool. We started off like Aaron said, like, oh my God, my parents are fighting again. What are we doing? And we came together like a family at Longhorn Steakhouse. So I just moved, which is it's a pain in the ass. It never ends. But I just moved to like a new area where I finally feel like kind of comfortable in LA, because when I moved here a couple years ago, we've been in like the same area the entire time. Gorgeous area near the beach. It was beautiful, but like I didn't fit in. It didn't work. Because like, yes, it was perfect and you could walk to the beach and nothing was out of place, but when nothing is out of place, I am the one out of place. Right? Like people, they gave me weird looks, right? Like it's families. It's like wonderful, idyllic life. And there I am, 7 a.m., smoking weed, walking my dog, writing jokes, which writing jokes is really just code for talking to myself in public. Right? You're just up in the morning, going to work. You see a guy on the side of the street like, Lemon, why is no one talking about flat moon theory? Hug a girl, hug a girl, hug a girl. It's a bad look when you're the least put together person on the block. So I got out of there. I'm gonna look ahead to something because I have an idea. Let's see if we can do it. We're workshopping on a Wednesday. I have to move out though, like of the new apartment, which is a bummer. Cause like, the guy's great. We get along. He's nice. I'm nice. But like as time went on, we realized like, oh, he's devoutly religious and I am a high functioning degenerate. Like it wasn't going to work. So we got an amicable divorce. We made my mother very proud. And it's kind of a bummer though, because like this room, I'm gonna be real. I just got it because it was like cheap, big, and furnished, right? It was just the simplest thing I could do. Came with like a dresser and a desk and a mattress. No bed frame, but a mattress. And I don't know what your living situation is, but I assume as a man who seems to have his shit together, you didn't go from a bed to a mattress.
No, I got a frame.
Yeah, you got a frame. You knew that would be a humbling experience, right? Going from like off the floor to the floor, right? Because I also have a girlfriend, right? And I feel like that's your first relationship glow up. Like if you don't have a bed, then you get a girlfriend, you get a bed. Like it just happens. But I'm doing it in reverse. I had a bed, then I got a girlfriend, and now no bed. I'm like Benjamin Button in this phase of my relationship, and hopefully our couples counselor, Hannah, can help with that. I don't know, I'm 31, which is kind of, it's fine, it's what it is. But when I was in my 20s, I always got annoyed when people like expressed that they didn't want to turn 30, because I never understood that. Like 20s for me just felt like when you turn 30, people are going to care what you think, even if you don't know how to think. Right? Like anybody ever here done like a really shitty bar show where like no one is listening? Right? Like they're at the bar, there's comedy, they didn't know, they're just at the bar. Like I feel like that's your 20s, right? Like you're just standing with a microphone like, hello, I have jokes, I'm nice, I have ideas. You ever talk about flat moon? What are we doing, people? But like the second you turn 30, they're like, oh, hey, what do you think about literally everything? Foreign policy, tax brackets, gay stuff. We don't know. You matured. You're 30. I gotta figure out an ending to that. Cool. My name is Ben Hunter White. You guys are phenomenal. Also, I just want to point out, there have been multiple times tonight when someone has asked a question to a comedy audience and your response is, just fucking clap, y'all. Just be like, yeah, me too. All right, you guys have been great. My name is Hunter White. Find me on the internet at My Name is Hunter. Give it up for Sunda, LA School of Comedy. Mark, everybody here. Oh, Aaron McIntyre. Take his acting class. He may have Game of Thrones executioner face, but he's a wonderful teddy bear. Give it up.
It's true. It's true. Except when you tape him. Oh, he is so serious, man. You don't want to mess with him at all. At all. Mark, he was so mad. I said, that was great. And I stopped, and he said, what is wrong with you? I wasn't finished. He goes, it was my moment. That's not funny. He was mad for real. I felt really bad because it was really good. But I also wanted to say we have other things going on, too, but he'll tell you. The next comedian will tell you. We have the Right Club here, and we were just doing a lot. And we have another if you guys have a chance, watch my special on Prime Video. I never talk about it, but I have an hour special that came out, so you should watch it because it's too painful for me. And I'm probably 100 pounds heavier there, but that's just the Laugh Factory stage does that to me. Let's give it up for your headliner tonight, the one, the only, Mr. Billy Ramirez.
All right, hey, it's been a weird mood, all right? This whole day, and it all started with arguing about teeth and like, yeah. Anyways, so all right, let's see. All right, let's talk about more comedian brains. All right, fellow comedians, has anyone here ever let your brain run away and craft stories about yourself and then you end up living in an alternate reality that you created for yourself? Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. So yeah, that's I've had that experience, and for a while there, I was thinking that I didn't have any stories to be a comedian, that I wasn't interesting enough. But fortunately, actually, Right Club helped me snap out of it, which is nice. And also just thinking about my past. I mean, just the fact that I'm a middle-aged wannabe comedian or actual comedian. I don't know. I mean, that surely tells you that I have some stories to tell, right? I mean, if I didn't have stories to tell, I'd be a VP of marketing at some major company right now with one of those K1 401s or whatever that's called. Like my stories are the reason I'm a comedian. like for example, like if I didn't have any stories, like like I said, I'd be a VP of marketing, but instead right now I have 5 side hustles, to try to get by. And like last weekend I did some moving because obviously I need some money, but also sometimes I don't feel Mexican enough, so it's nice to do it's nice to do some manual labor, it's I just have to start tapping into these stories that I have. I just have to start organizing this hoarders episode of a brain that I have. It's like it's like the garage is like the guest room is full of random facts about 1990s NHL backup goalies, and then the garage is stuffed with empties from a past drinking problem and physical copies of Smokey and the Bandit, and then the rest of the house is just stuffed to the rafters with pure uncut, unprocessed childhood trauma, just stuffed in boxes labeled, danger, do not open, So I just got to start opening those boxes and see what stories come out of there. Actually, Chick, you're in for a treat, all right? This is intermission break. I have an intermission. I built in an intermission break for this joke, so check this out. If you will indulge me, here are my top 3 favorite 1990s NHL backup goalie names, all right? In descending order. Number 3, Darren Poopa. Number 2, Pokey Reddick. And number 1, Ron Tugnut. With honorable mention going to Darcy Wakaluk, because Wakaluk sounds like something you would say when you stub your toe in the dark. So let's see. Oh, my handwriting is terrible. Let's see. So I just got to start tapping into these trauma reserves that I have. They've been aged over 40 years in anxiety barrels with subtle notes of people pleasing and really strong notes of emotionally unavailable parents. So it's going to turn out into a very rich elixir that I hopefully will turn into some really great material. Let's see. Actually, speaking of parents, I think my dad killed my mom. Yeah, seriously. So here's the story. So my mom went toe-to-toe with cancer for 19 years, and then she passes away the week that my dad decides to suddenly move away to a different state to live with his family from his first marriage. Like, oh, that's convenient, right? And also, I didn't mention that, you know how I think he did it? I think he did it through poisoned beans. Seriously, I'm telling you. Yeah, because he left her some food that last week, right? And when we were packing up her apartment, guess what was on the stove? Just a fresh batch of beans that she had prepared. So I don't know, yeah. So, but I know that sounds kind of odd, but let me give you a backstory, because in the late 80s, my dad developed a flesh-eating infection in his leg, okay? And who knows how he got it, but the way he thinks he got it was that a rival from his town. We had just moved back from Mexico. He believes that a rival from his town poisoned his tortillas with dirt from a graveyard. Okay, so after you hear that, poisoned beans don't sound that odd, And so once I figure out an ending for that, that joke's gonna be muy chingón y todo eso. But speaking of anxiety. Being up on stage here at LA School of Comedy has helped me work on performing anxiety, not the personal kind, but like the on stage. I still need a lot of work on the other one, but here I've been working on the stage anxiety, and part of it is because so I've been a drummer since the late 1900s. And I love saying the term late 1900s around people my age, because some of them get really tight and just like they just suddenly appeared out of nowhere after the year 2000. And then other people laugh, and those are the people I want to hang out with. But I say it's a drummer in a band. I'm usually tucked way back here behind all the amps and band members and my drums and cymbals, and I just got a nice little nook back there, and it's oh dang, I don't know where I was going with that one. What do you know? The dentist. Well, are you saying I should go to the dentist? Yeah. Anyways.
Father discipline.
Yeah, but no, I just forgot. So I mentioned the 5 side hustles. That's the reason I haven't fully memorized this set that I'm trying to work on. But speaking of just being anxious on stage, just imagine being like one of those, like a jazz musician back in the '60s. If I had a time machine, I wouldn't go back and fix history or whatever. Everyone says like, oh, I'm gonna go back and kill so and so or do this and that. Like, no, for me, all I'd want to do is just go back to the 1960s, maybe late '50s, and go to one of those jazz shows because I'm a fan of jazz, and whenever I listen to jazz. Inevitably, my mind starts to think about how angry all these jazz cats were, like Miles Davis, Charles Mingus. They all smacked the hell out of all their own bands, and I just want to experience that for real. To just imagine just being at one of those cool jazz lounges, and then someone gets up there like, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Doom, 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 doom. Stop, Jones. God damn it! If you come in late one more goddamn time, I'm going to drag you in front of everyone and stomp on you until you die, all right? So just if you think I'm playing, just try me. Try me. 2, 3, 4. Doom, 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 doom. That song is called My Beautiful Love. Anyways, but it just cracks me up that, jazz is associated with, threats of murder. Yeah, I don't know where the hell I was going with that one. Why did I pick that one? I don't know. So I was just trying to pick out whatever. I was just trying to pick out, see what fits in that, and whatever. Jazz drummer. I gotta figure that out. Anyways, who here is on their period? Hunter's on their period. Yeah. So I get a kick out of the term time of the month. That always cracks me up because I think us dudes we use that term a little too loosely. It's like, oh, time of the month, it's like, it's like she's got a Groupon for menstrual cramps or something like that. It's like, oh, it's her time of the month. It's like a monthly event or like a pay-per-view, But I think the problem is a lot of us don't understand what really happens there. I think if we understood what happened there, we probably wouldn't take it so lightly. And now I'm not a uterologist. I didn't go to Womb U or anything like that. But as far as I understand it, like on a basic, like cartoon level, as far as I know, what happens is that once a month, the uterus prepares itself to host a baby. Okay, like sets up a nursery, puts out like a crib and some posters that say you can do it zygote. And then if no baby shows up, the nursery basically sets itself on fire for the next 3 days, right? And there's no male equivalent to that. But imagine if there were. Just imagine if there were a male equivalent to the time of the month. And I think I figured it out. Just imagine if once a month, the male stomach prepared itself to host a salad. Yeah. And then if that doesn't happen, for the next 3 days, you get el chorro, like just volatile Hershey squirts and I think we would start maybe wouldn't use that term so lightly, but also on the other hand, I think it would set up really it's fun, beautiful moments like you're just hanging out, and all of a sudden you see your buddy, you're like, "Oh, Derek! Oh my God, is that you? Oh my God, look at you! You are glowing. What is going on here?" Then Derek would be like, "Oh, you noticed? Thank you very much. It's finally happened. I had a salad. Did you?" Oh man, yeah, that explains it. I mean, you are absolutely radiant, and it's I've been trying for years, but one finally stuck. Like, I've had two, I've had two myself, and it's worth it. It's hard work, but it's worth it. But just be careful for that post poopum depression because I got it real bad after my kale Caesar from Sweet Greens. Anyways, something like that. I missed a part there. So, anyways, let's see. Well, I mentioned anxiety during my first. So I mentioned anxiety during my first joke, and I think one of the most anxiety-inducing things you could ask me ever to do is to pick a card. I hate being asked to pick a card because inevitably, when you pick a card, you have to remember what the card says and then put it back in the deck, right? And for me, as soon as I put the card back in the deck, it feels like trying to remember the cooking instructions after you threw away the package. It's like, oh man, is it 35 minutes at 400 degrees? Is it 45 minutes at 300 degrees? Like, I don't know what's going on. It's like, what's that? My card? Oh, geez. It was the Jack of Lanterns. I don't know. I'm sorry I ruined your trick, but if you think that's bad, I just burned my dino nuggets, so we're both having a bad day. No one's burned their dino nuggets here. You don't understand. Anyways, all right. So I'm from the Bay Area, and up in the Bay Area in college. I used to work at the Shark Tank, the San Jose Arena. And one time I was working a Disney on Ice event when I heard a dad yell out, "Larry, Larry, Larry!" And I thought he was talking about his his HVAC guy or his drinking buddy. No, it turns out he was talking to a little toddler named Larry. I did not know that babies could be named Larry. I still think about baby Larry because time. All right, I'm gonna end it there. Fuck it. All right, thank you.
Where can we find you?
Billy Ramirez, middle-aged muchacho on Instagram.
Thank you. You'll kill me for that 2 minutes. You know it. There's some comic out there watching saying, she gave him extra time. They're doing something. But you guys could be doing something too. Because you could do your podcasting here. You could rent your studio space. You want to do your own show, have an open mic, then you do it. But make sure you're ready. You make sure you use this mic like a magnet. We don't want to miss anything.
All right.
It's a trick. And don't forget, because you guys need to work on this stuff. Because it's funny, even people I know, they'll say, "Oh, I've got 5 minutes." When's the last time you had to do a 5-minute set? You have to remember, it's just 5 minutes. Unless you've been doing it as long as I have. In that case, I'll say goodnight like Alfred Hitchcock. You can find me on Sunday Live, watch my Amazon Prime special, and don't forget the Film Actor Shop. And the next guest, you know who they had here? Nick Thune. I mean, that's great. And Christopher Titus. My first time with him was... No, I wasn't with him. I don't know why I said that. But no, I meant to say Premium Blend. That's what it was. I can't remember. Yes. That's right. So, did you see him? You met him?
No, never have.
Isn't he coming?
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris is coming.
What day?
Sunday.
What time? 1. Okay, I want to try to make it. And you guys out there, you should try to make it too. Christopher had his own sitcom. Yeah, he's dope. He's great.
What sitcom?
Titus.
Titus. Oh, you just told me all about that.
Oh, Maron.
Sorry.
This is what I live with. And they say I'm a nag.
No.
I'm a nag.
Right.
Right.
It's totally justified.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. And thank you, everyone. And remember, if people tell you you're funny, you probably are, but you will never know until you take it from the page to the stage. So do that. Good night.